Okay, so right now I've got 41% battery and I've used 116 gigs of space. I've had a few comments asking about asking how the 4K video quality is, so I thought I'd make a video on it. So this will all be filmed in 4K. It's in 4K right now, and there probably will be little bits of video cut out here and there, but I'll look to give you the battery percentage at the end and storage space as well, because that's one of the things, well, the two of the things that put me off using 4K. It's the battery it's the battery usage and file size as well. And the 1080p is really good 1080p, so that's why I'm happy to use that. You know, it's convenient, quick, clear, so I feel like I don't need 4K. But you guys want to see 4K, you want to know what it's like, I will let you know what it's like. And I'll also let you know if the device heats up as well. I'll just do a quick little video over here. This is wide angle lens. Let's go to the standard lens. The standard lens is really a lot better than the wide angle. All right, so have a little look at this. The standard stability is on right now for your viewing pleasure. I try to avoid wobbly videos where possible. So just have a look at what the focus is doing there. And you've got a nice blurry bokeh background. Always nice to look at. And have a look at those cars. It's having some trouble focusing now by itself. I'm not going to tap the screen. This is 4K right now. Let's zoom in. I can see a bit of grain there on the screen. Let's come back to the standard lens. And let's go to wide angle. All right, so I'd give you a little bit of this. Something to look at there. Let's go back in there. So change my lens, it's asking me some other things, a bit strange. Anyway. Alright, let's pop back. Oh, in fact, do a bit of this. This is always nice to look at, isn't it? Look, watch this. I'm focusing on the end of this little branch. Look at that. Really nice focus. Really nice blur in the background. Really nicely done. Alright, still in 4K. Giving you the best dashcam style video I can give you. This is the wide angle lens. Alright. Oh, this nice.
Take him 10 years to get published.
I wrote the book, and I wrote a letter to Clarissa Dixon Wright, who was on the telly for something.
Just give you a little bit of radio to listen to, see how it sounds as we do this.
Yep, read it overnight and rang me up and said, yep, this is worth a go. Try the following publishers. And I went round the publishers for, I don't know, a couple of years, and they all said the same thing. They said, this is a very nice book. Were you famous, we would certainly publish it. Is there any chance you can be famous soon? And I kind of thought that was more difficult than writing the book. So I went off and took my way into the Evening Standard and did some restaurant reviewing for them.
Nigel Barden.
One of the reasons he got the job at the Evening Standard is that he used to...
So that's wide angle view. Let's go to standard.
Because he knew that sometimes someone wouldn't be...
Standard lens, there you go.
...time with their copy, and that's what happened. They published some of his work. So where Faye Mashler was doing, you know, the more high-end restaurant reviews, he was going down the grimy parts of London, looking for the small baker or the kosher butchers. That was absolutely Charlie. He wanted to know, you know, the nuts and bolts of it all. That was his great strength.
Just thought I'd give you guys a shot of this tree. Might as well. How's that tree looking? Looking 4K? Looking clear? Looking good? I'm sure it won't when I zoom in. No. Okay, I focused on it. How does that look? Doesn't look that bad, really. Looks good in this lens. And how about wide? There's wide. You can see the real diminishing quality in wide lens, but this lens, standard, brilliant. It's fantastic. The wide lens is still really useful though. Good for stabilized footage, and it really is such a useful wide lens. It makes small spaces into big spaces for you. You can really get things in without having to back up. Anyway, carry on. Sriracha. Everybody loves sriracha. This is the standard lens. Look at that focus. Look at that clarity. This is the wide lens. All of it is 4K. This is the standard lens, 4K.
Right, stop moaning.
Focus is locked onto the bottle now. And get some distance in there.
You buying me them crisps?
To be honest, I've really got to stretch my arm out to get this full bottle into this standard lens. Wide angle lens, nice and easy. How's it looking? Looking 4K? Looking good? So much nicer with the standard lens, so much nicer. Okay, we're just going to get this tree while we're here, okay? So I'm focus locking on the tree to make sure it's in the center of it pretty much. We're in the standard lens. Let's just walk over to this tree here. How's it looking? Should be a lot of detail there. Oh, it's windy. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'm going to take stabilization off because it crops a little bit. So let's have a look at that, okay? Okay, stabilization is off. Now let's get right into this tree. Let's get the detail. Let's see how 4K this is. Is it very 4K or is it not? Let's pull it back. Let's pull it back some more. This is all standard lens. Let's go wide lens. There it is. Stabilization off, 4K is on. Back to standard lens. Oh, Bluetooth. Let's turn the Bluetooth. That's good enough. Alright, so stabilization is off, 4K is still on. Standard lens. A bit of a drive. standard lens is a brilliant lens. In terms of battery, last I checked, it was just at 35%, so it used about 6% in like no time. I do feel like 4K is a bit of a battery drain. Okay, here's wide angle for you. In these kinds of scenarios, I don't think wide angle is that beneficial, especially because of the way I've got it mounted too, so I'll just put it back to standard. There we go. You might see a difference because of stabilization, the change in that, because earlier on it was on while I was driving and now it's off. But of course there should also be an improvement in quality, because when stabilization is added there is a slight crop. What we'll do is we'll go down here and I'll turn stabilization back on as well in a moment. So while I'm stopped here, because this helpful driver stopped in the middle of the road, I'll just change the setting. Standard stabilization is back on a bit of a bumpy road. I'm going to turn the camera down a little bit. You will see a bit more of the dashboard, but there's more to look at, isn't there? Ooh. I think it looks good. In terms of heat, I haven't really felt anything, but that's because it's freezing out here. But no real heat problems detected. I am interested to see how much space this has used. Remember, I had 116 gigs used when I started recording today, so we'll see how much we end up with. Because of my mount, it drifts back quite a lot. The mount that I've got is not too clever. Okay, alright, we will stop it there for a moment. In a moment. Right now I'm on 21% battery. I started on 41%, so 20% has been used, and I filmed 15 minutes worth of footage approximately. I'm not sure if I'll put it all into the video, I might cut some of it out. In terms of storage, I've used 5 gigabytes, so 15 minutes footage roughly, and 5 gigabytes footage used, 20% battery gone. And this phone, I've got to tell you, the battery on it is amazing. It really is a really good battery, really efficient. And so it really shows that using 4K does really, drain some battery power, so be prepared for that. So battery power used 20%, 5 gigs of storage gone, and that's 50 minutes of footage. And so we'll review it when it's watched back and put up. This is the standard lens 4K right now, stabilization on. I think it is a brilliant camera, great to use. And here's my 4K test. Just a final note on this, I have had a good feel of the camera area, the top of the phone, the screen side as well. And there actually is a fair amount of heat, There actually is a fair amount of heat produced using this 4K. So, something to be aware of. I'm not concerned about it, not worried about it at all. I don't really use 4K that much. And if I was going to use it, it's processing a lot more heats to be expected. So it's not a concern for me at all. But the heat is there. Thought I should let you know it's a fair amount of heat actually towards the top of the phone, screen side and camera side. Interesting. Fair enough.
was spending time with people, you know, at the non-glamorous end of the food and drink world.
Part of that mission was to explain the complexity and regionality of Indian cooking to a mainstream audience. Even family holidays involved travels in India in search of authentic cooks in hidden away places. Charles's son, Jeff.
That's enough of that for now, and don't forget, stability is on. Standard stabilization is on.